Okay. Okay, there's you. Yeah. Nice. Yes.
Hope everything is okay.
The last part there said, "Is everything? Hope everything is okay."
Yeah.
Hope
Yeah.
everything is okay.
That's good stuff. Shout out to Brendan Halloran, who was going to do the show. And this is good start already. Brendan Halloran was going to do the show, but he had to bail. We hope he's okay. Andy managed to put that into a song. I've two people jumping in here, which I'm really thankful for. We are a podcast with Raptors Republic. I'm Freddie Rivas. This is Andy Hull. Let me quickly introduce our two guests, and we'll get to it. From Raptors HQ and Twitter and lots of the cool things. Yeah, she's amazing, incredible comedian as well. Chelsea Leite, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
Hello, thanks for having me.
No problem. And if you're watching the YouTube stream, his microphone I think disassembled itself, which was really cool. He is a writer, a podcaster with Raptors Republic, and he's my chess guru. We haven't played chess in a while, but what's up, Nigel Nicholas?
Good, buddy. I'm really, really good. Actually, you know who I'm playing chess with these days? It's Aiden Moss. You should play. You guys should play each other. I think you're about the same level.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No. The thing is, he's really good, so he can say that.
No, it's good. You know what?
Burn.
Yeah, not everyone can be you. Like when you're as good as at chess as you are, you can with your mind
it's going a little bit
take
too
apart
far.
your
I
mind.
I appreciate that.
Okay, let's get to it. There's a Raptor game tonight, so if you're listening to this podcast, we will have already played the Brooklyn Nets, so hopefully we win. But yeah, let me start with you first, Chelsea. Let's see you first. First question. So I kind of want to take Darko's temperature.
Like you want to like check how he's doing, like how he's.
Yeah, I want to make sure he has a bunch of espressos every day.
You want to be his nurse.
Yeah,
you want to be his nurse.
Yeah,
his
so I want to
nurse.
make sure he's not. There's the nurse thing. Plus, I want to make sure he's not sick.
Yeah.
COVID's
back. Yeah.
It's back, baby.
Did it ever leave?
Yeah,
no,
right?
No, it certainly did not. But yeah, he said he's going to do a bunch of things, and some of them he's doing. Some I think he's having to bend a little bit on. One thing I've been following is the minutes and sort of like the bigger rotations, and I think we've seen a lot of experimentation with that. So yeah, my question is, A, do you think it's working? B, do you think it's going to pay off?
Yeah, I mean, first, I want to say that because I am credentialed media and I go to practices and stuff, I'm slightly biased in the fact that he is a very cute person. And I am like somewhat just like biased of the fact that he's just like, you're so nice.
He is.
So
I just heard someone say that on the radio on the drive over to my house, and they were like, he's so nice, and we love him so much.
He's just so nice, and like last time I was at practice, he came up and he like looked down at one of the guy's boots, and he was like, "Oh, those are nice boots. I need to buy winter boots. Like, what do you recommend?" And the first like 30 seconds of the scrum were us just like recommending this man winter boots. Like, he's just a nice man. So I just like, when people criticize him, I'm like, stop. Don't.
Right.
But when it comes to him doing his job, I mean, it just like brings me back to like trying to win like 8th grade class president and being like, if I win, we're gonna like have freezies every day, and then everybody's mad when they don't get freezies every day. It's like that. Like, you come into a head coaching job as your first time, and you have all these ideas of what you want to do and how you want to structure things, and obviously you've never done the job before. So when you come in and you start doing it, it's going to be a little different. And you know, the players are obviously, you can't predict how any player is going to play. You can't predict what teams are going to look like. You know, for the most part, you can a little bit. But I do think that for it being his first time, I do think people are judging a little too fast, and I do think that we need to kind of like whoa a little bit. But for what we were expecting, I do think it hasn't been as bad as like people thought. Like there are definitely, when you think about the offense and stuff like that, there are things that can be improved, but I don't know. I just think about what he's been handed and the fact that it's his first time and the fact that, there's already been a few, like, I don't know what to call them, like unexpected things come up in the season, losing players to injury. The fact that like Grady hasn't shot as well as people may have predicted, stuff like that, that I think he's been rolling with the punches very well. And I do think the one thing that he's doing well that may not be paying off right away, but is something that he's building on, I do think his in-game adjustments have been improving. You kind of have seen it in some of these comebacks that they've had, as much as you don't want to have to come back from like 20 points every game. I do think those comebacks have been, just the result of him being able to like in-game adjust pretty much. But I do think in terms of like team morale, which is very important. I know like everybody hates talking about vibes, but I do think in terms of vibes, like that is probably one of the most like 0 to 100 ways he's kind of changed this team. And so, yeah, I do think like if he was a second or third time head coach coming in and this was what we were working with, I think people would have more of a reason to be more critical. But I mean, it's his first job, so I'm a little less hesitant to be like he's doing it all wrong right away.
So is it fair to say, as like a temperature check, you're like he's doing all right, like he's doing as he should, like, or he's doing good?
Like I would say like lukewarm, like, he obviously still has things to improve on, but again, it's his first season and I think that those things will improve, but at the same time, I'm not going to be like fire him right now or everything is terrible or whatever. Right. I would say a good lukewarm temperature.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Yeah, I'm basically the same. I'm probably even a bit more positive. Like I think that he's doing good. Especially when you look at the strength of our opposition so far. I will also say, it's a theme I'm seeing come up in a lot of basketball circles right now. And it's this downplaying of like emotion and vibes and personalities and how those all work together. And I think it's part of this, it's a bigger conversation, but I think it's part of an analytical movement where it's sort of like, hey, here's the numbers, here's the hard facts. All your sort of soft skills, soft facts don't matter because I can't prove them in a linear way. But I think, the average basketball fan watches basketball and they're like, no. This person liking this person, not liking this person, vibing with someone else does matter. And it does have a material, result. So I think to the vibes point, I think that really, really does have a major impact. And yeah, we might not be able to find that impact on, second spectrum or basketball reference, but it totally matters. And it really sort of like can drive or, hinder success in my opinion. But yeah, Nigel, what's your temperature check? How are you feeling about the minutes? How are you feeling about the offense, defense? Like, just give me your Darko feels.
So first of all, I'd like to say, Freddie, don't act like you actually read Second Spectrum and check out the article there. Okay, so let's start with that. Okay.
I love the quick call out. I 100% do not read Second Spectrum. I also love analytics, but yeah, I mean, absolutely. Can I concentrate for that period of time? You better believe I can.
What I think right now, so I think the whole situation with him is theory and practice, right? He came in with very big theoretical ideas, and the truth is, when you're in these situations, things change very drastically. Life's what happens when you're making other plans, right? So that's number one. Number two, there's been some issues. Obviously, the lineups are something that it's just mind-boggling at times. But I also get the fact that these are new players to him, new constructs as far as how the dynamics of how these guys play together, who works best together. All of these things are things that he has to go through. He has to learn himself. He can be thinking that this is going to work, but I don't know. Another issue for me is this offense now with running Well, I don't mind Yak so much, but running Precious as a hub, and he's the 5th highest usage on the team. That's wrong. Okay, and when it comes to Precious, less ball is more ball. Remember, he was talking about Grady needs to take instead of taking one dribble, needs to take 3 dribbles. Precious needs to take 1 dribble instead of taking 3 dribbles, and a dribble handoff is more than he needs to do as far as passing goes.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I love that you zeroed in on the presage on the precious usage. But yeah, I think it's very fair to see these glaring things. Right, we had the Boston game, which for me was one of the big Darko moments. Right, like you sit Pascal for an entire quarter, you don't get Scotty in the game when it really matters. Like these are some sort of I don't know, like not. He's not a new coach, but he's a new head coach to the NBA, and I think that's sort of a not okay mistake. Earlier in the year,
It happens, right? It's gonna happen.
it happens. Yeah,
You hit me on the microphone. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
you're damn right. I love it. Well, yeah. Let me throw this at you, Andy. We're 17 games into the season. What's your sort of temperature take on Darko with his team?
I mean, I think you guys have pretty much nailed it here. You're taking. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of. I feel like he doesn't have a lot of options with this team. It's pretty much here. Aside from like moving Gary and Precious around here and there, and swapping them out, like. We've talked about Malachi Flynn and how it's like, hey, you got a surprising amount of production out of Malachi. Good for you. Like that's maybe like his best thing he's done so far. And the worst being like, yeah, blowing that game in Boston and like, so I don't know. It's like you guys said, like he's new to the job, new to the team, obviously, and he's. I don't know. Honestly, the team's record is kind of what Darko is like as a coach. But it's like, hey, we're 500 so far, and that doesn't mean that this is going to be a disaster of a season or anything. It could easily turn around at any point for him as a coach. So I actually think he's doing a good job, though. You know what I mean? Like to like the results here are pretty much as expected for the team. When we started the season up here. And I think that's a good thing because I think the potential to underperform was actually a lot bigger. Well, we're not that far into the season yet. We don't really know where we're at right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but so far, I think that like even just looking at the schedule, I think the potential to underperform was really there. And I think we're just kind of like, okay, well, we're there. We're about where we kind of expected us to be. So that's good.
For sure. I think if you're a Raptors fan and you look at the Bulls and you don't see a version of the Raptors, you're fooling yourself. Like if you don't look at the Bulls and say that could be us, then I think you're probably a bit too confident. I think there are reasons that we're not the Bulls, but when I look at the Bulls struggling, I'm like, honestly, there's a world. There's several worlds in which that is us.
There's a lot of teams and a lot of coaches out there that.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay.
I just want to ask Chelsea a quick question. So I think vibes are huge, right? This was Darko's mandate to come in here and change the whole locker room scenario. She's in there and she meets with these guys. Do you see a different vibe this time around, or is it the same old, same old?
Honestly, yeah, I do. It's a little bit like most of what I get is like post game, pre game kind of stuff, but you can kind of feel the air is different a little bit when you go. Like, I mean, it's just a little bit more of like a happy environment, which is kind of weird to say. I don't want to like trash on last year too much, but like, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like there's a little bit more communication. There's a little bit more cohesion with the message. I think there's a little bit more trust maybe between everyone. And I do think like the overhaul of the coaching staff, like from top to bottom, like all of them have come in and are really just like excited and optimistic and that changes things. Like you think about these players, even the players who were there last year, like you can see the change in them. And Darko was so big on like the joy of playing and the joy of this and the, putting a smile on these people's faces. I remember a couple of weeks ago, he was like, what's the biggest change you've seen in Malachi Flynn? And Darko's literal quote response was like the smile on his face, like he's happy again. Like, and so like stuff like that, like it's definitely different. So you can feel it. There's a little bit more of like a joking kind of camaraderie among them all. So yeah, it's definitely different.
I was gonna say like looking at the rest of the league here, obviously we're so focused on the Raptors, but like we have the same record as the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like whether or not that's what that says about the Warriors, whatever, and what that says about where early in the season or whatever, hey, that's fine. But like the point stands, like like you're saying about the Bulls, like it could have gone that way. Instead, we're kind of a 500 team currently, and I think like that a lot of that has to do with the coach.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let me start with you. This is a fun one for me. Speaking of the Bulls, I'm going to start with you, Nigel. So yeah, DeMar gets frustrated that Siakam takes that late three, and sort of is like disrespecting the basketball code, which is a fun conversation for a different time. But I think to me, this is good stuff. I hope that mic falls many times this episode. I honestly want you.
Is it popping? Is it like on a spring or something? It's
it's
like one of those Mario toys you get from McDonald's and you push it down.
Listen, what I don't want is for you not to set that back up. I want you to set that back up because that baby's gonna fall again.
Reset the spring, crank it down.
No, he has to hold. He's doing the Samson.
Right? So it doesn't. It's supposed to go in here. So normally I use this arm. It's attached and blah blah blah, whatever.
No, you just gotta hold it.
Here's the best part of this. I just want to add that the sound from Nigel is not coming from that mic. That is purely aesthetic. That is purely aesthetic.
Aesthetics.
Listen, this is how the sausage is made.
This is purely aesthetic.
Man, nothing is sacred. Whatever the trust between
producer
and talker.
Hey, I'm not even here. I'm AI, right? So
Same.
Listen, you can't trust anything right now. Sports Illustrated articles are fake. Okay, so back to this Bulls thing. Scotty fully trolls DeMar as he's getting teched out. Scotty, fairly well timed, does the same motions as the ref, like you're out of here, which was, I mean, I just love that shit. Like I think sports are here for us to be entertained. I think the ideas of like a code are fairly laughable, and I don't really like that kind of policing, anyways. So I love when people just act ridiculously. And anyways, I love that so much. And Scotty does have some taunting qualities. So my question to you, Nigel, is who is your favorite Raptors like antagonizer, troll? A guy that's played for the Raptors who pisses people off.
So, two guys I think of: Charles Oakley, when
number
one, when he left and called out the team and said that there was no tough guys on the team, that they need and no one touched him. So that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is Keon Clark, when he called out Vince because he saw him sitting on the bench, and he said, "I can see you on the bench. Why are you not playing?" Right. So those are the two biggest trolls I remember.
Hey, that's good. I love how you pick people who called out their own teammates. I'm into that.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate troll.
That is. Yeah. You're going in hard. Okay, Chelsea, do you have any trolls come to mind?
I don't know if this counts as a troll, but it's also just like my favorite funny moment of like basketball history was when Kyle Lowry took a charge in the All-Star game. And I just think that was so funny. Like
it's one of the best like Raptors moments, and
like
it's not talked about enough. Yeah, it's amazing.
No, yeah, and like the fact that guy was just like just his vibe in general. I think he was more of like a prankster than a troll. I think his vibe was he was always trying to like mess with his teammates and like be
in the
kind
media,
of like a funny guy. Yeah, in the media and stuff like that. So no, when you asked that question, my mind immediately went to Kyle Lowry taking a charge in the All-Star game because like it doesn't really get more troll than that. So that's my answer.
Yeah, that's great. And it's funny. People always talk about that All-Star game as like being the most competitive, and it's like, well, yeah, you had someone like Kyle Lowry in there.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of sort of huge stats guys that are like kind of just launching threes and stuff. It's like, no, you need people in there who are like about defense and just like so ultra competitive that they're gonna tilt the game. Andy,
Mhm.
is there any
Man,
troll?
there's only one answer. It's I love that call, the mention of Keon Clark, but I'm going to go back even farther. I'm going to say the Big O, Oliver Miller, classic Raptor. That listen, you get out of Oliver's way because he was one mean dude, and he would let you know about it on the court for sure.
Hell yeah,
I just
Big
remember
O.
him getting into all kinds of trouble, and I just assumed that was an antagonistic thing he had with other teams. I don't even really
100%.
remember specific things. I do remember that vibe about him, though.
So I had two. Mine was Serge. I think that Serge he was tough, but I think he would also, he did the finger wag for a little bit. I think Mutombo told him to stop, but then he started doing the thumbs down. When he would block someone. And then my other guy is a current Raptor. It's very new, but he's already done a couple things. Is Dennis Schroeder. He likes to piss people off. And when we recently beat the Indiana Pacers, I thought it was pretty incredible that immediately after the buzzer sounded, he pointed at Halliburton and laughed. Mocked. So that to me is like, wow, you're a bastard. Like that is like, you're not even high-fiving another teammate. The first thing you're doing is you're finding someone and being like, ha, ha, ha. And that to me is pretty vicious. And like in FIBA, he did a lot of that. I think he did it to Dylan Brooks. Like his thing specifically, besides his 3-point, thing's cool. But I really like that when he does something to someone, he points and laughs. Like if you've ever been pointed at and laughed at, it's infuriating. So I'm down.
It really is.
Like it's really like
It's
you're
the
on the
worst.
brink of a fight when someone does that to you.
Yeah.
We
Pointing and
forgot
laughing.
OG too.
The Nelson
Throwing water
months.
balls.
Nelson Muntz.
True.
OG's good. Yes.
OG's a good one. And I mean, we started with Scotty. Might as well end with Scotty too. He's
Yeah,
growing
Scotty's
into.
He is good too.
He's
Scotty
growing
is
into.
good. Yeah.
He's
like-
I was
it's
so
like-
surprised he didn't get a tech the other day. Like I was like, did the ref just not see him? Like I think he was doing it with the ref's back turned to him because I was watching. This, like he's about to get ejected too, but he just like was smart about it.
Yeah.
Like he was dancing.
Yeah. He also has
He did a
this
little dance.
like that smug smile in DeAndre Ayton's face.
Yeah,
He does this. He's like
true.
one of his weird patented moves is like when he gets a breakaway, he just stops and
and then looks
around.
back. Or who did he say? He said, "You're not him" to someone.
Oh yeah. To
He like
did,
stared
yeah.
one down. He was
Grimes.
like, "You're not him," and I forget who.
it was Grimes
Scotty's
from
great.
New York.
Yeah. Oh man, that was great.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit of NBA here. Let me start again with you, Chelsea. So I picked 5 teams that I feel like are, could be nominated for the Utah Jazz Award of last year, which is you have a really good start and people are like, no, this team's for real. They're incredible. And then they sort of just fizzle out. And then we're all like, oh, right. They're not that good.
Yeah.
So the one team right away I'm going to say is probably shouldn't be included in this group that I put is OKC. OKC, I think most people thought would be good, but I did put them in the group because I feel like no one thought they'd be this good to start. But so, I'll leave them there, but I'd be surprised if anybody picked them. So anyways, the teams are Houston, Minnesota, OKC, Indiana, and Orlando. Chelsea, which of these 5 teams is going to have the Utah Jazz effect where it's like, no, they're actually not good. They're actually, not even a play-in team. They're just going to fizzle out.
That's so hard. My first thought before you even listed the teams was Minnesota, but I'm going to go back and say Orlando as my final answer. Just because with Minnesota, you have a little bit more experience, maybe possibly could ride it out and be a little bit of a better team. But with Orlando, like the fact that it was like last year, they were so bad and like becoming so good so fast. Like I feel like it could happen, but maybe they're just like experiencing like a good streak of magic.
Oh.
It's magic.
Or maybe they're just like, maybe they're just so hyped by the in-season tournament that like, I don't know, maybe that's just like launching them into glory. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they won the in-season tournament because that would be hilarious. But then, like, New Year's comes and it just goes back to normal.
Maybe they just play. Maybe they just like courts that are different colors.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's like a big
Could be.
change that way.
Yeah, that influences.
Yeah.
I actually don't even know what their record is in the tournament, but yeah.
No, they're like topping the group. Like they're
Oh, yeah,
probably
yeah.
gonna leave the group. If the Raptors win tonight, which is the funny part of tonight's game, if the Raptors win tonight, they basically kick out Boston. So if the Raptors win tonight, Boston mathematically couldn't top the group, and Orlando would win if they
That's fun.
like. Yeah, because basically, if the Raptors win tonight, Orlando and Boston are tied, but Orlando wins the point differential. So they move ahead, and then Boston would have to get a wild card if they wanted to move forward.
Ooh, I like that.
So, yeah, so that point differential that everybody's complaining about is literally going to do its thing.
It matters, baby.
I mean, if the Raptors win, so yeah, but they're doing quite well. They beat Denver last week. They beat Boston in the in-season tournament. So
yeah.
and I think
look great.
Orlando's a good pick because, this is obviously a Raptors podcast. And they're a bad shooting team, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, you got to think that that's going to settle back in and it's going to hurt them, or they're just a much better version of the Raptors. Athletic, big, can't shoot, but somehow win a bunch of games. Sort of what we're hoping for. Nigel, who's your team from this group?
Yeah, I like that Orlando thing. They took our identity and stole it, and they made it better. So I think I'm okay with them. For me, it's got to be Houston. There's no way I had them up here at 7. No chance I had them up here at 7. But they've been outstanding so far. Freddie's been good. I don't know how many. He's, I think, number 2 though in minutes, right, so far. So how long is that going to last? So they've got a lot of issues in there, a lot of young guys, a lot of crazies. So let's see how long this lasts for. But I'm very, very, very skeptical of these guys.
These are great. Okay.
the mic. Goodbye, Mike.
I love that Houston finally put you over the edge. You're like,
At the
this
20
Houston team's pissing me off, and I'm done with this prop.
At the 27-minute mark, the mic is gone.
That's
Commit to the bit.
I definitely agree. I think Freddie's knees are about to start lurking up on him, which they do around January of every year. So
yeah. For a second, I thought you meant my knees, and I was like,
no, Van Vliet.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, your knees too, probably, but you know.
Your knees are in trouble, bud.
Yeah,
just so that you know.
I'm more of a foot guy. My feet are.
And we've been tracking it. Chelsea and I have been tracking it.
Yeah.
You know, around this time of the year is when it starts to go for you.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
It's spectrum. They have a whole. They've got something going on.
Yeah, except we only track his stats when he's doing comedy, not when he's playing basketball.
That's right.
I've been noticing your knees in those improv sets. You know, they're looking a little weak.
Yeah. Well, if you tracked my stats during my Tuesday night basketball run, you would note that I'm horrible at shooting.
Same. I embarrassed myself publicly on the weekend shooting wise, so you know it's good.
I'm sort of like a Lance Stevenson type. I showboat a lot and embarrass the shit out of myself regularly.
Oh, same.
So it's good. Andy, do you have a
way of not embarrassing myself? Yes, don't play basketball. Simple.
Yeah. Okay.
Just don't do
it.
We're
done.
That's a wrap.
No, do you have a sort of
Yeah, I feel it's I mean,
Orlando's
on the craziest heater right now, right? They won 7 in a row or something like that.
Yes, they're pretty hot.
Yeah, they're super hot, and that happens. Teams get hot, but they can't. You can't. There's no way they sustain that. No team can sustain this. So I think that they're going to come back to earth, and they're going to be around, that kind of where people kind of expected them to be, which is improving and a good young team for sure, but certainly not 2 in the East. So yeah, no way.
Just for fun, I think for me, Orlando and Houston are the picks, but I'm going to take Indiana. I love Carlisle. I think Halliburton is so special, but one thing I always get a bit giddy about is the greatest offense of all time talk in the first 10, 20, 30, 40 games of a season. I'm always greatest offense of all time. cool, but like we're not at All-Star break yet. So
Mhm.
let's just see how this incredible offense, faces every team once. You know what I mean? Like, so, and again, trust me, when we played against them, I see it, right? Halliburton is like I don't even know, man. He's really, really, really special. And talk about someone who showboats, man, watching him cross up Oscar Thompson and skip down the court. I was like, this guy fucking rocks. Like anyone who skips after they hit a three is great. But yeah, I'm going to go Indiana. I think like any team with, their defense, offense, teams get to study you, right? So I think other teams will find a way to slow them down and bother them a little bit. And maybe they won't be so hot, or maybe I'm wrong and they are the best offense that's ever been created.
No, it's that.
Yeah, it's that. It's that.
No, it's that. It's that.
I mean, the Kings did that, right? I think the Kings were that. They finished as the best offense. So, sometimes it happens early and stays, right? Okay, Nigel, last question, and then if we got some bonus time, we're going to mess around a bit. But let me hit you with this. So, this is just a dumb question, but during the Clippers-Spurs game, Greg Popovich, who I think just feels like he's like the mayor of San Antonio, and he probably is, and can do anything. The team was heckling, the fans were booing Kawhi Leonard, right? They hate how he left. I also feel like Pop for sure played a role in all that, but I mean, set that aside. Popovich, he grabs the mic and he sort of scolds the fans and says, like, this isn't who we are. To which they replied with a thunderous boo, which made me laugh because the fans are like, that is who we are, and we will boo, and you can't stop us. But I've never seen anything like it. So it just made me think. I'd be curious for all of you, like if you could set up the scenario for us, if you got to be in an arena and grab the mic and say something to everyone, what would it be?
Well, my first thought is I would.
You need a mic that works.
Andy, what's wrong with this mic, Andy? Help me out. And then I'd sing a song to my wife because I love to sing the songs to my wife.
Okay, very nice.
That would be amazing. I'd love that.
And after that,
the refs would be like, "Can we go back to the game?"
We respect you. You have a wonderful voice, sir, but there is a basketball game that is.
But listen, I didn't say it's any amount of time. So like, if you're like, come get the mic.
You don't yield your time. You're just gonna filibuster this basketball game.
Like you're gonna do a Meatloaf song. It's gonna take like 8 minutes for you to finish.
Oh, I would. So I was just in the 905 game week or two ago, and Masai came in the corridor. And I wanted to say something, but you gotta be nice, right? You can't say anything, especially because media credentials are on the line, right? But I want to ask him, what the hell are you doing, buddy? What the hell is going on here? I don't understand anything you've done in the last 5 years. Can you please get off your vacation and do something? Because I'm really sick and tired of what's going on. How's that? And don't boo him. Don't boo him though.
So okay, just to quickly recap here, you're doing this at a 905 game in Mississauga.
I saw it. I saw it. Man. I was thinking that's what started this whole motor up.
Yeah, you sing a song to your wife. Everybody's on board.
Yes.
And then you scold Masai Ujiri.
Yes.
But then you tell the audience not to boo Masai.
No, but first he makes sure that Andy knows that his mic is working.
Yeah, the mic is working.
That is first.
Yeah.
Well, in this whole scenario, the mic has to work. So
yeah.
This is great, Nigel. I mean, honestly, I don't know if anybody can top this.
That's true.
Chelsea, what's your mic moment? What are you doing?
I mean, now that I know that we can sing a song, I'm like, might as well, put my type 5 in there. Start with that. Yeah. Get a quick type 5 off.
Sure.
For the basketball people who don't know what comedy is, it just means me telling jokes for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Sorry to talk comedy.
Say for the basketball people who don't know what comedy is.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them out there. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I often get asked to tell a joke at
Oh,
Raptors
yeah.
things. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you do comedy? Can you tell a joke?" I'm like, "No." But okay, so I would perform a type 5. The coach's challenge light would be my light to tell me that my 5 is coming to a close.
Okay, good.
That I have this prepared. And then I would tell everybody. Then I would tell everybody to stop putting so much thought into a plastic chain.
Oh, good.
Because they probably bought it at Party City and to
Right.
touch grass or something along those
This
lines.
is good.
And then I would yield my time.
This is very good. So, to recap here, I mean, you're doing this at Scotiabank.
Yes, yeah,
You're telling all the basketball fans what comedy is,
yes,
and then you're doing a tight 5.
yeah,
Then the challenge light will light you up, and you're gonna say, "Hey, everybody, the chain is actually from Party City. Touch grass." And
yeah,
and I yield my time.
yeah. That is it.
Great. This is great. Andy, what's your mic moment?
I don't have anything for this. I have nicknames.
Okay, Andy's got some nicknames, which we're gonna go
He's
to.
yielding his time.
I'm yielding my time.
Andy, I hand Andy the mic, and he hands it back to me.
Yeah, I say forget it. I actually prepared nicknames in this slot, so we'll see you guys
Okay.
later.
Okay, this is great. Fantastic. Listen, know when to leave. Okay.
Don't overstay your time. Number 1 rule in comedy.
Number
you
1
go.
rule in comedy.
For those of you out there who don't know what it is,
Who don't even
Yeah,
know
if
what
you've
comedy
never heard-
is.
Yeah.
Watching Matt Rife's Netflix special, being like, "Oh, this seems good," you know.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, stray at Matt Rife.
Hey, he's catching a lot of straight.
Hey, he's
catching
catching
all
them.
them strays.
I would just sort of I'd pop in. I'd also do this at Scotiabank. I just give like a quick sort of power rankings of my best favorite TV shows. So I'd be like
awesome.
Sopranos, Wire, Succession, and then
Elf.
Elf. Elf. Check
I
the
know,
ending. It's
You're
really
100%
weird.
throwing Elf in there.
And then Sliders, probably.
Yo, it's funny you said check the ending of Alf, but because did you know that in Germany they took the series finale of Alf and made it into a movie?
Wow.
Like it got released in theaters in Germany
Yeah.
because that's how big Alf
As
was
it
there.
should.
Right?
And see, this would
Respect
be
him.
the moment, like as a clown duo, as a comedy duo, Andy would have taken the mic back from me.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm trying to yield my time, but Andy's being like, hold on.
No.
No.
Yeah, there's an
Alf.
important part of Alf here. You guys need to know.
There's some Alf history that you guys need to know about.
Okay, we're gonna do some nicknames, but just right before we do that, everyone can see in the chat. I'm just gonna send a quick message. So about 5-6 minutes into this podcast, Andy tweeted, "I just spent $35 on a chicken sandwich at Shoeless Joe's AMA." So I can start here, but we're all just gonna ask Andy one question.
Great.
About the $35 chicken sandwich he bought
Yeah.
at Shoeless Joe's. So my first question is $35. Was there no side accompanying this?
There
sandwich?
was a side. It was a sweet potato fry side.
Okay. And
So
drink?
I did it to myself. That's an extra $2.50 right there. And the drink was a Coke Zero.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So
Wow.
pretty basic.
That's really expensive.
And it wasn't and that's after tip, mind you. So that, but
Okay.
still,
Okay. Sure.
that's nuts, right?
That's pretty nuts.
And by the way,
Yes.
that was a draft tweet that I had that when I opened up Twitter, it was still there. So I was like, oh, I forgot to send this. So I hit it.
Oh, so this might be very old.
No, and it was from today, though. It's from today.
That was from
Okay.
today.
It's just I
Yeah.
meant to send it earlier, and then when I came in here, I was checking Twitter for basketball, and I was like, oh, there it is.
Oh,
I have
Shoeless
to get
Joe's.
this Shoeless Joe take off.
It was right there. What am I gonna do? Not hit send on it? Come
this
on.
still matters. Fire away.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Nigel.
Yeah.
What's your one question, Andy, about just Shoeless Joe's chicken sandwich?
Okay, my question is, how do you feel about people calling a chicken sandwich when it comes on a burger bun?
Well, if it's a burger, it has to be like ground up, and then in which case I think you call it a chicken burger then.
Okay, so a chicken sandwich is like a fried or grilled on a bun, but even though it's still on a hamburger bun, you still call it a chicken sandwich. But once you ground it up and put it into a patty, it's officially a chicken burger.
Yeah. If you put like
Interesting.
cuts of beef on a thing, you wouldn't call that a burger, right? You'd call that a beef sandwich or something. You'd call it like
Hoagie.
roast beef sandwich or something. Right?
That's actually kind of smart. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Wow. Open up my mind here.
I got you.
Yeah. Honestly, we're all getting owned.
You're all getting owned big time.
Comic gets owned. This is
This is gonna go viral.
Nigel, do you have a question for Andy's chicken sandwich?
Yeah, Andy, are you a vegan by any chance?
Yeah, that's why I ate a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Nigel, what's going on? No, I'm not, obviously.
Yeah, that was a trick question,
Could be chicken, with an apostrophe.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
chicken.
The fake chicken. That's true.
Yeah,
true.
honestly, Andy just
But
got
it wasn't. It wasn't
Yeah.
actually, because Freddie did put it in the chat. It is written out.
Chicken sandwich, yeah.
It does say
Yeah, for $85, you better get a prime rib with that as well. You know what I mean?
I know, it's
Yeah.
insane. It's
That's
insane.
so expensive. I can't believe
Better be
it.
the
It's a
best
lunch.
chicken sandwich.
It's the lunch menu.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
What are we doing?
Shoeless Joe's. Weird
You
name.
need
anyways.
to budget.
It's
buddy.
not just Shoeless Joe's. Also, let's just be honest. It's not just Shoeless Joe's.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah,
And
true.
what are we
Yeah.
gonna do about it? Nothing.
Inflation. Holy shit. Galen Weston.
It's all Galen's fault. I hate that guy.
Okay. Aside from the Weston family hoarding cash, let's move on here. I was, I don't know, just messing around, thinking about nicknames. And this starts from my hatred of initial nicknames. So, KD, SGA, CP. I don't like this shit. I think there's got to be a baseline for nicknames.
Yeah.
And it cannot just be your initials. That's unacceptable.
No.
We need to, even a weird, dumb nickname that doesn't make a lot of sense is better than that. So anyhow, I think we can just take turns here. Who has a player who needs a nickname? And give them a better nickname. I got a couple. Why don't we just go turn for turn? Andy, you want to start us?
Yeah, I got some here. Why are we not calling Dennis Schroeder the Shrewd Maneuver? Let's go.
Sorry, say that again?
Maneuver. The Shrewd Maneuver. Let's go. That's a great nickname.
It's I don't know if it's great.
Gonna be making some shrewd maneuvers over here all game long. You know what I mean?
You got to say it in a certain way, so it's a lot of effort for the name. But
if you want to make, if you're not into brevity or whatever, you can say Schroeder Maneuver. If that's your vibe more.
I feel like a nickname should be less than the actual name.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
no. Wrong.
There should be less syllables.
No. Wrong.
Wait, so does he have? I'm just
Longer is funnier by a lot.
I'm just gonna check if. Yeah, he doesn't seem to. Oh, the Menace. Basketball Reference.
Dennis the Menace.
That's lame.
Menace.
Yeah.
Dennis the
Bit lame.
Menace.
Bit lame.
No,
But,
It's no Schroeder Maneuver, whatever that was.
Schroeder Maneuver. I like that a lot.
That's really good. Okay.
It sounds like Schroeder manure.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is good. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I got one. So Victor Wembanyama, the Basketball Reference has extraterrestrial. What?
That's stupid.
That's horrible. And also Wemby. I don't like Wemby. Wemby is a bit too.
Yeah.
It's like with the Jays, we had Joey Bats. Listen,
Yeah.
Jose is a better name than Joey. Okay, don't Anglo, don't Anglo it and say it's a nickname.
Yeah.
Not fun. So I'm going a bit serious here because I do like these names historically. So you got like, AI was the answer.
You hated that though, because you hate the initials thing.
What's that?
You hate the initials thing. You don't.
No,
like
sorry.
that.
Allen Iverson was the answer. People called him the answer.
Oh, sorry. AI. Sorry. Yeah.
My bad.
Confusing that you called him AI.
Very, very unclear. Paul Pierce, the truth.
Right.
I think Wembanyama, the future. Okay.
Okay.
And that reeks of lameness because it's like trying to be cool. But after people say it for a couple years, it will be cool. So
I don't think even after 20 years, buddy, that's still not going to be cool.
Fair enough. It will never be
It's
cool.
not good. I'm gonna
It's
say
not
right
cool.
away, not good. Yeah.
I'm not
bad.
cool. Okay.
That's bad.
Bad name.
It's
We'll
not
move on.
catchy. It's not funny.
Yeah,
Nothing
no, it
good
sucks.
about
Sucks so bad. Sorry. Okay. Okay, we'll keep going though. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
has anybody else got one?
Some names are gonna suck.
All right. So Spicy P. That's maybe the worst name of all time.
Spicy P.
That was
Yeah.
mine. That was mine. I
Kelsey, you
hated it.
snooze, you lose, baby, on the Confederacy
You
of Ducks. That's
lose.
how it works.
Or that's how it goes.
Owned.
Totally.
Comedian
owned.
owned.
So I think they should change his name to Pascal. I've got 2 All NBAs, and what are you thinking about trying to get rid of me, Siakam?
Nice. That
That's
rolls
super
off the
long.
tongue.
Rolls
I-
off
you,
the tongue.
you're trying to tell me it needs to be shorter?
You took it there. I want it there.
I love it. Yes. No, I like
Okay.
that.
No,
Yeah, heighten
really,
it.
really long. That's good.
Okay. So Chelsea, was that yours? Or you got another one?
I have another one off the top of my head. I don't know if I
Sure.
have like a good substitute for it, but I don't think Scotty Barnes has like a real nickname yet. Like
Yeah,
he calls
he
himself
doesn't.
Four or ya boy, but I don't think ya boy is like a good
Yeah, he
nickname.
needs one.
That
He
could be
needs one.
anyone, you
He
know?
ne- Yeah, it could be anyone. I do like how at the arena when he scores, they have that sound that's like "It's your boy." I think it's cute.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, he needs a better one. But I also think it needs to like match his like young and fun personality.
Mhm.
But he also doesn't have anything yet that's like his thing. You know? I think he's still like coming into his own. You know?
Are-
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you got?
Oh man.
So what do you got?
How about
See,
this?
that's the hard part. I had it. I'd see. I was on Spicy P.
Scotty
I don't
Too
know.
Hottie. Let's go. What's wrong with
Scotty
Scotty
Too Hottie.
Scotty Too
Scotty
Hottie
Prince
is an
of
old
Toronto.
wrestler.
Fresh Prince of Toronto.
That's good.
Because I think he's kind of embraced Toronto. He's kind of a Toronto.
The Barnyard.
The
That's a
barnyard.
That's what we should
The
call the
Barnyard.
Scotiabank Arena now. Is the Barnyard.
I was gonna say.
Barnyard.
I was gonna
I
say
like
Scotchy Bonnet.
Scotchy
I like
Bonnet.
that.
Okay, no, I like Scotchy Bonnet.
Listen,
Great Scott.
Great
These are
Scott.
good.
Hold
These
on.
are good. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this
then
is-
you play the Scotty or you play Doc Brown from Future
Yeah.
Back to the Future when he scores.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
Scott.
Great
Yeah,
Scott's
exactly.
good. Okay, Andy. back to
I
you.
got another one.
Sure.
Malachi does not have a nickname. I don't know if you guys knew this. He
I
does
can't
not have
believe
a
it.
nickname.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
listed.
That's so shocking.
Which is why it's just going to be very simple here. We're just going to call him his Malachi Flynn. Well, now guess what? Now he's Malachi Flynn Boyle.
Okay, Andy's really trying to make this one.
No, this is good.
Yeah,
You guys are
Andy-
familiar with popular actress Laura Flynn Boyle?
Yeah,
from the
I don't know how
90s.
is she
Oh,
still
now-
popular? Like,
Oh yeah, very much so. She was Stacy in Wayne's World, right? So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
let's just
Okay.
go from there.
Yeah.
Malachi Flynn
Yeah.
Boyle. I got it. No problem. Oh, last week
There
I
you
said Jakob Pertl's nickname should be Pert Plus, and I stand by that.
yeah, Pert Plus.
Pert Plus, right? You guys know what Pert
Pert
Plus is,
Plus.
right?
The shampoo?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, last week who
What it-
was?
No, it's
who
when
was
you
here
grow
last
up
week? They
like
didn't know what it
kind of
was.
poor. You know what purpose is.
And
Yeah,
shout
exactly.
out to we have a listener that gave us some great feedback. They love the Pert Plus bit, so we're bringing it back.
Bring it back. Bring it
You
back.
gonna get sponsored too? You should get some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
let's
gonna
go.
sponsor they're gonna sponsor us.
Plus.
Let's think about it. Let's reach out.
Okay,
man.
so I got one. SGA
Okay.
does these sort of
Yeah.
like Insta, like kind of poet things where he'll go off and it's like a not great poem. But I think he's trying to make it his brand, right? So let's help him
Who
out
knows
here.
what the kids are doing? It's
Sure,
The kids,
sure.
the kids know what's up. The kids know what's up.
So SGA, his Shea is fine, right? Just his first name, that's okay.
Yeah.
But SGA unacceptable. So I want to call him Poet Laureate, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, not good either. No worries, we'll keep it going.
We'll keep it-
The future and Poet Laureate, honestly, 0 for 2. Comedian owns himself. Let's keep going here. Nigel, you got anything?
Comedian owns himself.
Since I'm being a little obnoxious today, so Precious, I think his nickname should be Not So.
Ooh.
Wow, a negative
Scathing.
nickname.
These are bad
Wow.
nicknames. These
Ooh,
are
I
what
like
your
it.
enemies call
Yeah.
you.
I mean, we do have there is a history of that too. Big baby Glenn Davis. He never liked that for one sec.
yeah. But he did look like
No
a big
one-
baby.
He sure did. And no one
Undeniable.
no one
Undeniable.
would be like, I'm a big baby. That's what I
Mhm.
want you to call me. Everybody would hate that.
No, it's a terrible name. It's like how we had a friend whose last name is Stein, and we tried to call him Stains, as a nickname
Nah,
in college,
nah,
and
he-
he
yeah.
very understandably did not like that nickname.
Absolutely, that's a nightmare for him.
Terrible nickname.
I got another one.
Okay.
Okay, so Grady Dick obviously needs a nickname. There's been
yes.
a lot of circling. There was a little bit of confusion a couple weeks ago when he started because people thought that they announced him as Mr. Big Dick Energy, when turns out in the arena they actually called him Mr. Big Energy. And so I just think we should lean into it and call him Mr. Big Big.
Oh,
Big
that's
Big.
Oh,
fun. I
Mr.
like
Big
that.
Big.
Mr. Big Big.
Okay.
That's really great. It's double entendre there. There's
Sure.
Yeah, there you go.
the size thing. There's the chocolate bar. There's the
And I
80s
mean,
band.
they already called him that. So
Yeah. Oh, I love that one. Multi-layered, that one. That's really good.
multi-layered.
This one's too old, but because he doesn't play anymore. But when Marcus Sol was here, I feel like I was the only person calling him the Big Paella.
Why?
It was out there.
Look at the big player. That makes no sense.
Extra large.
No, it's great.
Okay,
Shaq was,
yeah,
you know, when
yeah.
Shaq was the big Aristotle, the big cactus, and Gasol was the big paella. He's Spanish.
I like that.
Spain's national dish. I got two more to wrap up my list here. Okay, and they're from non-Raptors. I used to call Caruso Don Flamenco, though that doesn't really work anymore because he doesn't have like his ball.
And he's got a couple nicknames. The Accountant.
Yeah,
one,
because he
which
used
is
to
a
really
pretty
look this
solid.
way.
That's a
They
solid
kind of
nickname.
don't work now. Now he just looks like a psycho killer. So maybe we can try
Sure.
that. Like,
Yeah.
but Anthony Edwards, really, he's doing great this season. I know he's got Ant-Man, which I actually don't
Ant-Man.
mind. I
But
don't
it's like a
mind.
Marvel movie.
I
Come on.
agree. Instead, why are we not just calling this guy Goose? He's Goose. Anthony Edwards played Goose in Top Gun. Anthony Edwards, Goose. The actor Anthony Edwards played Goose. So that's why we call this Anthony Edwards Goose.
Oh wow! Okay,
Wasn't he also in that movie with the guy who was a Raptor last year? What's his name?
Wancho.
Yes, Juancho Hernan
Adam Sandler's
Gomez.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that too. Like
Mhm.
actually,
Who was? The actor Anthony Edwards or the basketball player?
The basketball player, and he was a great actor.
Yeah,
He was probably
he
the
was
best
in it.
actor.
Well, there you go. We got Goose. We got Goose.
and his name was something in there that could be used as a nickname. What was it?
Goose.
Was it Goose?
No,
it
wasn't.
It was
No
something
chance.
like.
But that's Anthony.
He's actually an actor.
That's wild because so Anthony Edwards' main like memorable role is both Goose, but also he was on ER where he was Dr. Green. So we can either call him Dr. Green or we could call him Goose, whatever you guys want.
Okay. All right. This is good stuff. Let's Andy, I think you have one more and then let's wrap it up.
I'm done. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just say right before we wrap, the guy I'm stuck on is Tyrese Halliburton. He has no nickname, and he's so good that I feel like he needs one. So if anyone has one, fire away. If not, if you're listening, hit us in the comments. Let us know what you think Tyrese Halliburton's nickname should be. I'm going to brainstorm on it.
Halifax.
Yeah, I'd like helicopter, helipad.
FACTS though, facts instead of FAX.
Not to go back,
wow. Okay.
but Anthony Edwards' name in Hustle was Kermit.
Kermit's great.
Kermit.
Chelsea goes deep. She goes deep, boys.
I like that. Kermit Washington, one of the greats.
Kermit the Frog,
Or,
also.
Not one of the greats, but
Yeah.
That's what I
Kermit
go
the
with.
Frog.
Are we just going to name Kermits? We can just do that.
yeah, Kermit.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it stops at 2, but anyways.
Yeah. He could be the third one. Kermit Wiltz. That was his name in Hustle. Kermit Wiltz.
It's a great name.
Great.
Okay, guys. That's
what a way to
odd.
end it.
what a yeah.
What a
Kermit
huge
Wiltz
ending.
and goodbye. Comedians get owned.
Comedians get
Great pod. Thank you both for joining. Chelsea, let me go to you first. You got anything going on you want to plug?
Yeah. My Twitter, like you said, I'm of Twitter at Chelsea Leite. Raptors HQ at Raptors HQ. I have some fun stuff dropping this week that I can't talk about yet, but tune into my Twitter on Thursday or Friday.
Amazing. Nigel, what's up?
First of all, thank you very much for having me, guys. Andy, nice to meet you. Chelsea, great meeting you as well. I just did a piece. So I'm starting to do, Aiden Moss. I'm doing some pieces with him. 5 things I dig and don't dig. I have The Forgetful Curator, which I have about 7 episodes that I have stocked up that I haven't published yet, including your own Freddie Rivas, which I do.
Amazing.
And then I also do media casting for games on this new app called the Pro Sports Fan. So I'd love if you guys downloaded the app and came in and listened to us on during the games. It's always a lot of fun.
Right on.
What's the name of it again, real quick?
Pro Sports Fans. Pro Sports Fans. PSF.
Pro Sports Fans. The app.
Okay.
All right, great.
Check it out.
Appreciate that.
And I'll just say thank you, everyone, for the support and for listening. And make sure you subscribe with Raptors Republic. Support all the podcasts there. Support all the writing. Lots of good stuff coming up and going on, and just so much good Raptors content. And keep enjoying the NBA season. Andy, anything you want to add?
Let's try and get some of these nicknames off the ground. I think some of them are really hot. I think some of them could be great. Let's do it.
Yeah, Pert Plus, Shrewd Maneuver. Let's go.
Pert Plus is huge.
And whatever, stay open to the future idea.
Yeah, we'll keep that one up. Poet Laureate or whatever. Sure.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, everybody.
The future
Okay.
is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. I'll tell you.
You're right.
now.
No, you're right. It's horrible. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, and just last thing before we head out, a big shout out to Nigel's prop mic.
Yes.
That's a huge part of the pod, and thank you
Wow.
for holding the mic. And cool.
right.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.